or it's at least broadcasting. We'll see if it catches up. It should in a moment. We have this weird thing that continues to happen where I will change the little dashboard title of what the next stream will be, and then when I link to it on Twitter, it shows a little preview of whatever the old message was, even if I changed it like 3 days ago. It's just something about the way Twitter pulls its little archive information. But hello, everyone! Welcome to So Many Levels! We're going to play some Dungeons & Dragons!
Woo!
Yeah. Been a couple weeks since last we played this campaign due to the holiday. And also, it's been even longer than that since we last, met with the Heroes of Legend because we had an interlude where there's some fishy business going on.
Oh, I'm still laughing about Chuchu's reaction. That was the scream. Oh my god. It's hilarious.
So, just to introduce everybody before we launch in, I'm Christiana Ellis, the Dungeon Master. As you can see by the little text labels that are beneath each of us now. And soon I'm working on even more, but it's not quite ready. Anyway, Christiana Ellis, the Dungeon Master. And our players tonight, we have Chooch as Autocree, the Tiefling Paladin.
Good evening.
You're not wearing your horns tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We have Vivid Muse as Amethyst, the Human Druid.
Good evening.
Mark Kilfoyle as Alaric Copperbeard, Dwarven Fighter.
Good evening.
And Starla Hutchton as Nirakina Ethu, the Elven Cleric.
Greetings and salutations.
I feel like I'm off-center in my camera. What's going on there? And my dog is just really needy tonight, again, for the second night in a row. So, when last we left the Heroes of Legend, they had kind of gotten maybe on the slightly bad side. They didn't get off to a great start with the spirit of Lake Elamon.
He tried to have us killed.
Did he, though?
So, somebody did.
It's true that what seemed like an ally you found in the town of Elamantia on the shores, the flooding shores of Lake Elamon, what seemed like an ally actually betrayed you, intending to sacrifice you to this spirit. You were able, however, through quick thinking and some big gun spells, potions.
I've been large for a very long time at this point.
Yeah. You were able to defeat her and the cultists that attempted to sacrifice you. And then you kind of had to decide what's the next step, because the spirit didn't seem super happy with how that all went down, and told you that you would not be permitted to seal the fissure. Now, the Heroes of Legend would not be told no. They're stubborn that way. And so after a little bit of recon and a little bit of planning, a very little bit of planning, actually.
Very, very little.
So very little.
You caught the ferry, which you hoped would take you to the center of the lake, and it did, despite apparently being piloted by no one. And then, once in the center of the lake, you cast water breathing on yourself and jumped overboard. And you swam down and down and down into the depths, going very deep, where it started getting very dark. And then you saw something strange coming up towards you, something lit up, which turned out to be the central sort of nucleus of an enormous jellyfish. And the transparent bell soon engulfed you and began transporting you yet deeper.
The squeaking jellyfish of Lake
Somebody
Elamon.
clowns.
I'm going to have to take. Well, I'm going to let her have it for a little while. Everyone, if you hear squeaking, that is my dog playing
Being
her,
happy.
her favorite
Fish
toy.
farts. No, it is.
Yeah, fish farts.
Fish
That's-
farts. Every fish farts.
So,
Yes.
Briefly, I'm going to also give a shout out to Tabletop Audio. If you are listening to the stream, then what you are hearing right now is the track called Rise of the Ancients from Tabletop Audio. And our players, if you want to listen along, because it's not, they don't hear it in their audio, it's only on the stream, it's complicated. That's the track we're currently on. So, let's begin. You guys found yourself engulfed, surrounded by this thick jelly, and it doesn't hurt. You found yourself still able to breathe, but you couldn't quite you can move your arms and legs, but nothing you did seemed to make any headway towards moving you in one direction or another. And in fact, you found that within the enormous form of this jellyfish, you found yourself drifting apart from your comrades. And it was very dark. And you realized that not only is it dark, but there's kind of just nothing to see. You are surrounded by water in every direction, a lack of light. And it goes on for a long time. It's a little hard to tell. You have no reference point. There's no one you can talk to. There's nothing you can see. How long has it been? Have you been in this jellyfish for minutes, hours, seconds? It's hard to say. You feel like you're moving downward, but at what speed? Where are you going? Are you going straight down or some other direction? It's hard to tell. And in fact, finding yourself in this position where you are unable to sense anything around you, you get the feeling that your mind is starting to squeak and make little squeaky noises, and you don't know where they're coming from.
She's the best.
I might take that away from her in a minute. You find that your mind starts drifting, to other thoughts, but then that daydreaming starts to take on an unexpected vividness. Chooch, we're going to start with you. You find yourself standing in a stone tunnel, and it seems vaguely familiar. And you start walking along it and hear a chanting sound coming from ahead. And as you emerge into an enormous cavernous opening, you realize that you've been in this cavern before, sort of, way back in the temple, when you seemed to travel back in time and witnessed the stolen moment being used to erase a demon summoning from existence. This is that cave. But something's different, because while there are all of these same drow cultists surrounding this central portal, they're all looking at you, and they clear a path for you. And as you make your way towards this dais, you see, tumbled into a pile, the corpses of Melicanth and her party. By Melicanth's outstretched hand is the stolen moment shattered. Upon the dais, you see your mother. She says, "Hello, Araki."
Can this be?
Is it really so hard to believe? You've seen some amazing things.
True.
Welcome.
How are we here?
How are we anywhere? The threads of fate have conspired to bring us to the place that we ought to be. It's almost time.
Time for what?
Your father is coming.
Really?
Yes. And once he does, everything will be set right. Everything will be as it should be.
I'd like to use my divine sense.
All right. As you focus on the strength of your vow in your heart and you tap into this source of extraplanar spiritual energy, this spirit of vengeance within you, and you use it to extend your senses all around you, and it gives you a feeling you've never felt before. You definitely sense a fiend, but you sense it in yourself.
It seems wrong.
Oh no, everything's right for the first time in a long time.
What happened with Father?
What do you mean?
Why did you kill him?
Oh, not your human father, your real father. She gestures up to the enormous portal. He's coming.
Othelisk?
Of course.
And you're happy about that?
Well, yes. Finally, the world and all of its rigid, frozen rules and order that pins us all to the planes like moths in some collection. When your father arrives, the true chaos that is life's true purpose will run free and be allowed to conquer as it must.
But he controls people.
He does.
That's not right.
Right. Right and wrong, good and evil. You're beyond such concepts now.
You may be, I'm not. I swore an oath of vengeance.
And vengeance against the real enemy will soon be yours. And we're gonna cliffhanger that a little bit, and we're gonna jump to Alaric. You open your eyes, and you're in your own bed. But this is your childhood bedroom. You look around and You definitely recognize the room, the furnishings, but the walls are cracked. The blankets rotted. Dust, debris scattered across the floor. And it's cold.
Hello?
Your voice echoes down the hallway.
Where? Hello? Is there anybody here? What's in the hallway?
Do you head out there?
Yeah, do I see a lantern or a lamp or anything?
Nope, it's completely dark. But you know this layout like the back of your hand. You could find it even if you couldn't see. But it is completely dark. There's no lanterns lit, and the air is very stale.
What is this? What? I can't be here. I'm under the water. This isn't here. What is this? Who did this?
Your
Anyone?
voice echoes up and down the corridor, and you realize that in the hallway, the path that leads towards the front common room area has collapsed. Rubble, and it looks like there's not even been any effort to clear it away. It looks like it happened years ago, maybe longer.
That's not right. Must be just an ancestor's place. I know my people were all over the place. It's just an old sunken castle. What about the other way? There's got to be another way out.
The other
There's gotta
way
be
leads to your father's study.
All right. We'll find out whoever runs this place. Is the door open?
The door is smashed. And as you turn and look into the room, it also is ruined. The books and ledgers that used to be neatly organized on shelves, scattered, rotten, torn.
Anything legible?
Well,
Who lived here?
you don't have time for reading because your father is standing there in the room.
Father?
He looks at you with fury in his eyes. You did this.
I did nothing. What's going on? What happened here?
Our family is ruined. Thanks to you.
Nonsense. I freed the mine. With the friends, I was freed, and the mine should produce. If you turned your back on it, or if you made mistakes, that's your fault.
Money is not a clan. Money is not a family. Money is
wish
not
you-
a legacy.
I wish you'd known that before you decided that my life wasn't worth going after anymore. Decided that my life wasn't worth keeping around. That it was better to marry me off to some stranger for money.
For legacy.
Legacy. You know of legacy.
I know
What are you
my
talking
own
about?
son turned his back on the family. Left our place, our people, our ways behind. Chose to take off his ancestral armor and become a stranger. Destroying
itches.
everything.
It itches. There was a thing with a snail, and it got all messed up. And besides, it doesn't really fit me anymore. I have to have it fixed. I haven't worn it for years. It wasn't keeping me alive. It was threatening my death. You don't know what it was like down there. You don't know whatever it was like. You haven't left this room in ages, I'm sure. But that's neither here nor there.
I can't leave here until it is finished.
It looks pretty finished to me. What's happened here? Why is everything broken?
There's nothing left but me.
What did you do? Did you lose everything again? I left your working mine full of coffers. You didn't need me. I was nothing more of a reminder of something you'd forgotten. I needed my own life for a while.
You chose selfish pursuits over your family. You turned your back on what was important to everything we stand for as a clan. And now all is ruined. And I stand here. You are either going to finish your task and destroy what remains of your family, or I will kill you where you stand. And you realize he's suddenly holding a spear and a shield.
What are you talking about?
We're going to cut away from you now. And Amethyst, you are walking in a forest. And the trees are lush and thick. And you hear, animal and insect and bird sounds in the distance. And then you step on something, and a thorn penetrates your sandal and into your foot. And it's not a wound, but it certainly hurts, and it's a little unexpected. And you continue on your walk, but you find that the underbrush is starting to get a little thicker and harder to push through, and the branches catch on your clothing and pull at you, and it's almost as though the forest is trying to keep you from going where you're going. It's not letting you through. You keep trying, you're pushing, and you're making your way through. You look for another path. You try going around the thickest of the brush, but you realize as soon as you turn around that, wait, which way were you going? Which direction were you going just a minute ago? Where were you trying to go? All the directions look the same all of a sudden, and the sky is overcast. You can't see the sun. And it's gone quiet now. You see a glimpse of a flash of eyes in the underbrush, but they're just staring at you, fearful, and then disappear. The trees seem to loom in at you, the bark turning rough and prickly, and suddenly you don't feel welcome here. And you hear a voice say, "Be gone, tainted one."
Who are you and how am I tainted?
You are tainted because of what you've done.
What did I do?
You were so ashamed of your actions that you chose to forget them. It is not my place to tell you.
Are you saying that I chose to forget all the things that I'm trying to remember now?
Who else could make you forget?
Well, that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out.
You chose to forget because you were so ashamed and afraid of everything that you had done that you ran away and purged the memories in an attempt to cleanse your conscience. But it will never work. You are forever marked by your actions, whether you remember them or not.
So tell me what I did. Open that floodgate for me. Who are you?
I am the woods.
So what did I do? Come on, Woods. I've always been a friend. It's you and me here. Come on.
Once you lived in harmony with all of nature, and then you turned your back on it to meddle in affairs that were not your own. And now, all of nature is anathema to you. You represent dissonance, discord, and you bring it with you wherever you go.
Okay.
Now be gone from this place.
How? I've been trying to get through.
No answer. You look around and you
Typical.
can't, there's no path. You don't know, you can't even remember which way you came from.
I'm gonna wild shape into an owl and fly straight up.
All right. You find that you have changed into a vulture,
Sexy.
and you begin to fly, and you realize that there are many vultures in the sky, and they all seem to be circling a spot in the distance.
Can I fly that way?
Mm-hmm. The sky is overcast, and there's a cold wind that even in your wild-shaped form sends your vulture body shivering. And as you make your way towards that circling storm of vultures, you see that there's a clearing in the woods, and on the ground there is what appears to be a human corpse. It's face down, and you can't see, and it appears to have been there for some time, and the only reason the vultures haven't gotten at it is because they keep fighting amongst each other to keep the others away. And they're so busy trying to keep the others from claiming it that they don't have time to claim it themselves.
That's deep, yo. So I can't see who it is. I can't tell. Can I see where I am? Does it look familiar? The terrain itself?
No, it's
No lake.
it's a forest as far as you can see, except for this one clearing, and you'd swear that every time you look in one direction, look away, and look back, it's different when you look back. It's you've never lacked a sense of direction before, but now you can't even be sure that the landscape is staying the same when you don't look at it. Are you going to try to swoop down and get a closer look, noting that the other vultures will probably
Yeah.
try to stop you?
Can I conjure animals while I'm in wild shape?
No, you can't cast the spell while you're in wild shape.
Okay. Then I'm going to work my way to the edges of the group and get as close as I can to see what I can see without making myself an obvious target.
Okay. Are you going back down amongst the trees, or are you staying flying and just kind of going around the perimeter?
Flying at the perimeter.
Okay. As you kind of join the circle, you occasionally get snapped at by whatever other vultures kind of draw near. But you can kind of get a better look, and you recognize that the robe on this body seems vaguely familiar, but you can't quite place it. And you're a little bit unsettled to find yourself getting hungry.
Ew. Can I understand, like, are the other vultures saying anything, or are they just fighting? Can I understand anything they're saying?
They're just fighting. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily be able to understand them anyway, just because you're in the wild shape. Doesn't mean you
Right.
can talk to
Oh,
them.
you're right. Yeah.
There is another spell that can do that, but yeah, that's
Yeah. So the robe looks familiar, and I'm hungry. So I'm gonna go see why the robe looks familiar.
okay.
And I'm gonna tell myself I just had a sandwich. I'm not really hungry.
Let's see. Roll a d20.
9.
9. Okay. You find that as you try to get closer, the snapping and flapping and screeching of these other vultures it manages to keep you away.
So I'm gonna make my way over to the edge of the clearing and see if I can see anything from that perspective. So
Well,
I'll just
yeah, you're still about 25, 30 feet away, so you don't really see much more than this face down body and the robe.
I'm gonna fly over the body. I'm gonna see what's up.
Okay. Well, you did try that before, and you can try it again. I'm just saying. So,
I'm gonna try it again.
Yeah, roll another d20.
9, for fuck's sake.
You find that you have had several of your feathers yanked out by grasping beaks and snatching talons, and you're bleeding a little bit, but you do manage to get closer and swoop over the body, if not land. You get the sense that you would be swarmed if you tried to land. But you do a closer pass, and you recognize that this body, though apparently dead for several days at least, has the same color hair as you, or as you usually do. And so we're going to switch over to Nira now.
Still a cliffhanger and hooker, I see.
So, Nira, you feel a bracing, kind of almost refreshing, brisk, chilly air around you that's kind of a surprising difference and kind of a relief after this weird slimy jelly that had been around you. And you smell ice crystals on the air, and you recognize this is the air of home. And as you look around, you realize that once again you are standing at the peak of Rushama, looking at all of Seikamian spread out below you, and in the distance there comes the avatar of Rushama, this strange,
yelled at again.
shining golden, slightly equine, slightly draconic form coming towards you, enormous, or is it? It's hard to get perspective. And as it draws closer, you realize that some of its golden scales have lost their luster a bit. And it seems as though it's thinner. You can kind of see the outline of its ribs in a way that's kind of unsettling. Its eyes sunken a bit. Nira.
Something feels wrong. What's happened?
You are resisting your destiny. You have been chosen for a very important purpose, and you are resisting me.
That's kind of what I do. um, I've asked you many times what this purpose is. I've got no answer. I don't know what it is I'm supposed to do.
Your destiny does not require you to be satisfied with the answers you've been given. It requires your obedience.
See, that's why we have problems.
You realize that you kind of look down because something feels a little weird at your feet, and you realize that your feet have sunk an inch or so into the rock.
What is this? Try to lift him out a little.
You're able to pull them out, but kind of as you stand on one foot, the other foot sinks deeper, and as you kind of try to pull that one out, it's kind of like standing in deep mud, and the more you're kind of moving, you find you're kind of going a little deeper. You're sort of up to your ankles now.
All right, stop moving. No more moving.
Your fate is predetermined. You have been chosen, and you will fulfill your destiny.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't believe that's true.
And you find that this avatar of Rashama is drawing closer now and growing smaller, but that's relative. It is still larger than you, but it draws up close. And you see these long tendrils of this shining white hair of its mane and its tail sliding out and waving in the air, and they start to wrap around you.
No, we do not like this. No. No.
You're going to roll initiative.
Damn.
Do I fight the thing that gives me the power? That's not okay. 14.
All right, hang on. I lost my dice. There we are. All right. All right. You find, let's see. That it is trying to wrap these strands of hair around you, and it gets 11. So you're kind of able to resist them from wrapping around you and entrapping you, but the touch of it is strange. It's almost like wire.
Am I still giant sized?
It's
Or am I
hard to tell.
Let's see. If it's touching me, you know what? I'm going to use the Wrath of the Storm reaction.
Well, it didn't.
Can I do that?
Well, I think that's only if you take damage anyway.
Okay, well then I will use Shocking Grasp cantrip.
You reach out your hand and try to make the sign. It doesn't work.
Oh god. Of course it doesn't.
Otter key. Your mother has just told you that Vengeance will be ours when your father arrives. Not this foolish oath you've made for yourself, but real vengeance upon the real enemy.
Who is the real enemy?
All the forces of order, of course. Those who would seek to take the universe and put it in little boxes, to order and label and categorize as though life and power shouldn't be allowed to go wherever it wills at any time, to destroy and create as it sees fit.
But no, there needs to be balance. You can't have chaos without order.
She slaps you in the face. I will not have you disparage chaos. You will abandon this foolish oath you've made, and you will prepare yourself for the arrival of your father.
I can't believe you're not my mother. You're
We're gonna roll initiative for you too.
all right. Nat 1.
Really? Okay. Wow. 'Cause she rolled low too, but better than that. She
But I get a +4.
she reaches out her hand and she doesn't even touch you, but you feel as though you've been touched. And yeah, that's going to do it. You feel that as you're going to be touched. Hang on.
Hold for
And,
touching.
yeah, hang on. That's not the right one. There we go. Yeah, there we go. And as this, what feels like a frozen skeleton hand, almost like it grips your heart through your chest, you take 6 necrotic damage. And you feel that this hand, it feels like it hasn't let go.
Okay.
And she says, "Enough."
I am I'm gonna cast Hold Person.
Okay. So they make a
See Wisdom saving throw.
okay. Well, that's a 19, I'm afraid. She you see her kind of shiver, shaking off the spell, and just says, "Such pathetic magic. You'd be so much stronger if you would just accept your father." And she is going to, let's see. She whispers a few words under her breath, and you find the need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Had my hit point thing up ready to take damage. 18.
18. Okay, so you find magic penetrating your brain and trying to seize control of it, but you were able to resist the effects.
Okay, I will.
She says, surrender to it.
Cast Bless upon myself.
Okay.
To give me. Yeah, saving throws. Attack rolls or saving throws, a d4. That's my whole action. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think my bonuses are also concentration.
Okay.
But I'll say, just you are not my mother. You are a fiend.
You don't know anything. You didn't know me then. You don't know me now. She starts whispering something, and the whisper seems to start to almost feels like it's worming its way physically into your ears. And so make another wisdom saving throw. Oh, we're not hearing you.
Oh, sorry, my 26.
Oh, really? 20. Your wisdom saving throw is 26?
Yeah, because I have a +5 for wisdom. I have a +3 on my aura of protection, and I rolled a 4 on the one before from the bless.
Paladins, you have those gigantic saving throw bonuses. I always forget about that. Yeah, well, so that's a success. But you still take you still take 4 psychic damage. And she just says, "Not that I don't enjoy hurting you when you misbehave, but you're only causing this to be more painful for yourself. Give in, and we will greet your father together."
I will shout again, "You're not my mother!" And I'm going to, because he's not totally sure, I'm going to attack with my my longsword, but non-lethal.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your attack.
17.
17 hits.
Whack! 8 points of damage.
You slice into her shoulder, and you see blood dripping down her shoulder, staining her robes. And she just looks at you and just says, "You really don't understand anything." And then she's going to, let's see, yeah, she is going to make a melee spell attack against you. She is reaching out at you, and yeah, that's going to do it. Okay, and you take 8 necrotic damage. And as you do, you see the wound you just gave her in her shoulder heal up. And we're going to switch to Alaric. Alaric, you're standing there. Your father suddenly has a spear and a shield in his hand. And he says, "So then, We're finishing this. Finish destroying your family, or die. And we're rolling initiative.
I've no intention to do either one, old man, but don't make me. But you may be going first. 14.
Okay, that actually, you do get to go first.
All right. I don't know what's wrong with you, old man. I've never figured out what's wrong with you. But I know that you haven't been in the field since I was born. And I've spent the last 4 years with something hunting me. You're not strong enough. And I will cast True Strike on him.
Okay.
I will keep my distance. I will use my bonus action to summon the dagger. And I will use my... let's see. I'll use my bonus... no, I can't use my bonus actions. I'll just move so that I'm without range. How big is this room? It's not that big, though.
It's not that big.
I'll move back to the hallway so he has to come out to get to me.
Okay. All right, and he does. He charges at you, and he's trying to slam you with his shield. That's a 21 to hit.
That's a hit.
Yeah. So you're going to take... Getting a lot of low damage rolls here. 9 bludgeoning damage, and
That's
you need
low.
to, well, yeah, and you need to make a strength saving throw.
Strength save, okay. 23.
23 is successful, so you were not knocked over, but he does then proceed to try to stab you with the tip of this spear, which you recognize as one of the ancestral relics that's usually kept in your trophy room.
A relic just like
That's
you.
a 14.
14? I choose not to let that hit. Here's a trick you haven't seen me use before. I cast Shield.
Oh. So he goes at you with the spear, and suddenly a wave of arcane energy deflects it, diverts it, and he snarls and goes at you one more time. And that's another 21.
Jeez.
And
Well,
so, let's see, that one is...
Almost get there.
That's just 7 piercing damage.
Just. Okay.
Alright. He says, "Fight me! Finish what you've started!"
Is it my turn, old man?
It is.
He's close to me.
Yeah.
Close enough for the dagger.
Mm-hmm.
I have True Strike, so I have advantage.
Mm-hmm.
I roll a 22 to hit.
That hits.
All right. Let's see. What is my sneak attack bonus? Only 1d6 right now.
Well, do you...
I have advantage.
Right, I guess that does let you. Yeah, okay, yeah. I feel like I
For-
haven't thought of using it that way. That's interesting. That makes sense, though, yeah. Okay,
10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. All right. All right.
Then I attack again.
All right.
I think I have that now. Just double check. Yes, I have a second attack now. I do not have advantage, which is sad. And I rolled a 9 total.
Yeah, that just he deflects that with his shield.
I use my bonus action to disengage, and I even use my movement to move. Actually, no. No, I will. Am I close enough to my room now? I can get
Well,
into my
you
movement?
yeah, I mean, if you disengage, you could run back down the hallway and you just get back to the doorway.
Well, I won't disengage.
Okay.
I will just move. It will give him his chance.
Yeah, he does take it. And he gets an 18 on your fleeing back.
Okay. I just want to make sure that shield is already done.
Yeah, I think that's a one time unless you
It
cast
started,
use
it
another.
it started on my next turn. It lasts until my start of my next turn.
Oh, okay.
I will.
Well,
I'll
so
take-
but you cast it with his previous. Well, okay, never mind. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is his reaction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So. Did
So
it?
it's
Okay. That's another 10 piercing damage.
okay.
He says, "Look at you, running away again, instead of meeting your responsibilities."
Come find me. Finally, maybe you'll find me. I go into my room and I use my bonus to hide.
All right. So I guess go ahead and make a stealth.
23.
Okay. So this is your room. Where are you hiding?
Pretty much just behind the interior of the door. I want him to step in the room so I can stab him in the back,
Okay.
just like he did to me.
Yeah. He definitely charges in and does not immediately see you, so he's going to make a perception check. Which is a not natural 20.
Oh, that's not enough.
But it's not enough. And so he glances around the room, glowering, but he doesn't see you. He says, "Come out!"
I have advantage because I'm hidden.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right here, Father. You never were good at finding me. Well, my dice go flying everywhere. I hope that's better. Natural 20.
Natural 20.
2 to a natural 20. That is much
There
better.
you go. Yeah.
All right. And it is again with the sneak attack damage. Roll it again. Let's see. So that's. Okay. Oh, that's better. 16 damage for the first hit.
16. All right.
Because
It is
you're
one of
tight,
those-
Starla.
It's one of those stab in the back kind of
Yeah.
shields, pushing it up and grinding it in.
Mm-hmm.
You mean now,
Wedge it
Father?
under his breastplate. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I take a second stab.
Mm-hmm.
23
23 hits.
for 8 points of damage.
All right.
I will use my bonus action to disengage
Okay.
and go back out into the hallway.
All right. He snarls and just says, "Just like you, to get in your licks and then run away again. Well, you have nowhere to go this time." And he is pursuing you, and this time you're not hidden, so he is definitely going to come at you with his shield bash again. And that's a crit.
Ah, crap.
So
Do I? No, I don't roll against that, do I?
no,
Yeah, it was a saving throw.
this is a melee
Oh, no, it's
attack.
an attack,
There is a
sorry.
strength to get knocked prone, but there is a
Right.
bludgeoning damage first.
Survive that part first. I'm losing so many characters.
That's 16 bludgeoning damage. And make a strength saving throw.
22.
22. You once again, your low dwarven center of mass, you're able to keep your feet. Your long experience diving over rubble and climbing and running and hiding. You know how to keep your feet. And he stabs at you twice more with his spear. That's a 10.
That's a miss.
And that's 22.
Yeah.
12 for another 12 piercing damage.
I'm down.
You're down?
I'm down.
And you find that you're,
Are you happy now?
you're clutching the spear, and he looks down at you and says, just fading, you can just barely hear as your vision starts to go dark. You were always weak.
And you were never a father.
All right, Amethyst. So
Yeah.
you're still a vulture.
So I'm on the edge of the clearing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna drop to the ground and change back into human.
All right. As you take your human form, all of the vultures suddenly seem to like shriek and then disperse and flying away.
Well, frick. um, well, I'm gonna walk over. I'm gonna go check out that.
As you make your way over to where the body was, suddenly it, it's it's just a fallen log. It's shaped almost like a human body, but it's suddenly not a human body. It's just a wooden log with that strange prickly bark. But
No robe, no hair.
no.
All right. I'm gonna go sit on that log and try and figure out what the fuck.
Roll
Is there
initiative.
is oh, all right. Well, I guess I'm figuring out what the fuck. 19, and I think I'm a +2 on initiative.
Wow. That's so you beat it by one actually. So what happens is you realize just at the last second as you're getting ready to sit down on it is that it starts to roll over of itself and arms and legs kind of unfold out of it. One arm ending in a big flat shape, almost like a shield. Another ending in a big bulbous club, and two glowing eyes emerging from a hole in the bark. And it says, "Be gone, you are not welcome in nature any longer." But you have first initiative.
I'm gonna cast Hold Person
Okay?
on it. It's just the one thing, right? That's all I can see. It's just the one thing.
Yeah, yeah.
The log monster.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll let you know, though, it is not a
A person?
humanoid.
Oh crap! All right.
So I'll let you choose something else, but you like because you would know your spell that it would probably. It's roughly humanoid in shape, but it's still obviously plant based.
I'm gonna cast Produce Flame and set it on fire.
All right. So make your attack.
I rolled a 17. I can't remember if I add anything to that.
Well, it should be your. It should say on your. I don't have the.
It's no. You can attack with the flame. It doesn't say if I add anything, so no.
Well,
17.
you make no. It should be your ranged spell attack. So your spell attack bonus,
Which I think is 6.
Um,
It's wisdom, right? I'm sorry.
right. Yeah. So so if you look in your spells menu, the produce flame, it says to hit +6.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yes.
that's what you're rolling. So 17 +6 then.
23.
All right. That definitely hits. And so you roll the 2d8.
I'm looking for that. Oh, there. Yeah, I'm not seeing. There it is. 2d8.
Yep.
8.
Okay. So it you see this little ball of fire strike this thing and blast away some of this bark and leave a scorch mark behind, and it kind of reels away a little bit. All right, and then let's see. It comes at you, and it's basically just going to try to swing this enormous wooden club at you twice. Just
Okay.
that's a 21.
Ow.
That hits then, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 18.
Okay. 14 bludgeoning damage. And then the second one is a 22.
Wish I was animal form. Animal form, I mean.
And that's another 15 bludgeoning damage as it just wallops you twice with this big club and says, "You are not welcome here, tainted one."
Can I talk or am I dead?
Well, no, we're in initiative, so you can speak kind of the equivalent of like one sentence in a round. If you want to try to talk longer than that, it's going to get to attack you again.
Just tell me what I've done and where do I go? What? Stop attacking me. What do I go? Where do I go?
It is not my place to tell you. You are the one that's intruding. All I care is that you leave before you infect this place like every place that you go.
I don't want to infect anywhere. Tell me how to leave.
Well, so at this point, are you taking an action? If no, then it's attacking you again.
I'm going to cast Dispel Magic on it.
Okay. So I think...
The ability check using spellcasting ability DC equals 10 plus the spell's
I'll just go ahead and tell you it has no effect.
All right.
And it is swinging its club at you again. That's an 18. And then...
I mean...
That's another 14 bludgeoning damage?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So I think I've taken 17, 15, and 14 now. I'm pretty sure I'm dead.
Well, let's see, what's your HP? 52? 17, 15,
Okay.
14? I think you're maybe almost there, but 17, 15, 29, 46. So you're almost down, but not quite. But that was just its first attack, so it's swinging its club at you again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's a 26, so probably, yeah.
I blink out.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and roll that. Yeah, so that's, you find that as it strikes you once again, and you find yourself sort of collapsing, you find yourself, you kind of realize as your vision starts to fade that you are lying now in the position that you saw the body before. And then the forest fades out around you.
Snap. I love it. I mean, darn it, I'm dead.
All right, Nira.
Yes.
So, you attempted to cast a spell, and it didn't work. And now it's trying to wrap these tendrils of coarse hair around you again. And that one is 22.
Okay, so this is why I had the question of whether or not I'm giant sized, because that affects my hit points.
I'm going to say you realize that you are not.
Yeah, so you said 22?
Mm-hmm.
That is...
Oh, so 22 to hit. That wasn't the damage
22
yet.
to hit. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
22 to hit. But then you find as this hair that doesn't feel like hair or fur, like I said, it feels like wire, and you feel it cutting your skin, and you take 15 slashing damage, and you find it has wrapped this hair around you. It has grappled you.
Okay, so then can I try to use Wrath of the Storm? I don't know if it'll work.
You can try.
Okay, well, it's just a reaction.
Yeah,
to-
and you try, and once again, nothing.
Yeah, figured. Okay.
And then as you are grappled, it is actually lashing at you with another one of these tendrils of what looks visually like it should be beautiful, glowing, silky mane hair, but feels like it cuts you. But yeah, although it, another one waves away, you're able to just lean your head aside and avoid it, and it just says, "You are mine, and you will do as you are commanded."
That's not why you chose me. You wouldn't have chosen me if I was like the others.
You gonna try to break the grapple?
Sure. What is is it like a saving throw?
Athletics or acrobatics?
Let me see. Switched away from my thing. Okay. I'll go for acrobatics because I apparently have that higher.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a 22.
Okay. You find that as you're struggling against it, you do take another 7 slashing damage, but you are able to break free from the grapple, and you were saying, and it says, "I chose you for my purposes, and my purposes are not yours to know."
That's not the Rushama that I know. I don't think you're him.
It's going to slash at you with these tendrils again.
Do I get to try to hit it?
You used your action to break the grapple,
Oh, okay.
but it does. That's another 26. That's only that's 7 slashing damage for that one though, but it wraps again around you again, and this time it doesn't lash at you again, and it just moves in close and looks you in the eye and says, "You prayed to me that you had no choice, and you were right."
I'm going to take a different tact here. Instead of trying to break the grapple or attack,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to close my eyes and I seems like a meditate seems like the wrong word, but I'm going to remember the chant, the children's rhyme.
Oh, I have to try to remember the.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was now.
Well, let's see. I have that in my notes somewhere here. Because that's it. Yeah, that's a cool pull. So definitely want to pull that up.
Actually, let me check. I might actually have that. Oh, I do have it.
Oh yeah.
Present in the wind and storm, Rushama maintains his ageless form. Present in the earth and stone, hear his voice, and you are not alone.
All right. Otterkey.
Yes.
Damn it!
Your mother has a look in her eye that you remember all too well. And as you watch, she clenches her fist with a mad sort of smile, and you realize that this necrotic damage that you took last time, something about it is she's still got a hold of you.
My turn.
Yes, it is your turn.
I am now going to. Yeah, I'm gonna pull out full on attack. Or if I want to yell something again. Say again, you're not my mother. Or prove it. What did you call me as a child?
Um, what did you? Oh, you're rolling an attack.
Oh, it's rolled 20, yeah.
Okay. Oh, so the roll was 20. Yeah, that hits.
Yeah. Okay. 8 points plus. This time I'm gonna juice it up. Let's see, radiant damage or thunder damage or I think radiant damage. So I will invoke my branding smite,
Mm-hmm.
which does an additional 2d6. 8 points, so 16 total.
Okay. Does she make a saving throw or anything about the branding smite? I don't remember what that does.
No. Deals extra 2d6 radiant damage to the target, which becomes visible. If it is invisible,
Aha.
that's dim light.
Okay. So let's... she hisses through her teeth as the arcane magics of vengeance, pulse out from your sword as you slash at her, and she just says, "Just wait until your father gets here. He comes, and you have a choice to make, son. When he steps out of that portal, you can be on his side and rule, or oppose him and die." And she clenches her fist again, and you are going to take... actually, let's make sure I know how that's working. So, and you find... Oops. Yep, you take another... another 10 necrotic damage, and you also see that her wound starts to knit closed again. Not all the way this time, though.
Okay. This time, for my powers. Oh. This time I want to invoke my channel divinity. I don't remember if the channel divinity is a bonus action or a full action.
For which feature
So
are you trying to use?
I'm sorry. It says right here, bonus action. As a bonus action, you can utter a vow of enmity against a creature you can see within 10 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Attack advantage for a minute.
Okay. So, and that just happens, right? There's not a roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
All right.
bonus action, vow, attack again. Oh, only I can't juice up the damage, but that's okay. It's over 20 something. If I do the math.
All right. Yeah. That's going to hit. This is your mom. She's not hard to hit.
13 points.
Okay. All right. She sort of reels back.
Oh, and I knew it. You are not. You don't even know my name, my true name.
Well, hang on,
my name.
just for a second, because
Yeah.
as DM, I have to know what you're looking for.
Oh, sure.
For me to make the choice of whether she knows it or not, right?
Yeah.
So,
So her initial response, she just did her propaganda and didn't mention it. But yeah, in my original character sheet, as a child, his birth name was Patrois, and they called him Patches because
okay.
of blotchy skin.
All right. Well, so as she wheels kind of back from this most recent attack, she just grins and says, "And of course I know you, my little Patches." And your father knows you too. You have a true name that even you do not know yet. And it will be revealed soon. And she points at the portal, and it's starting to glow, and you feel a presence approaching from the other side.
And is it it's a purple glowy portal?
Yep, big
It's like a rift.
and fully open. But you don't see anything through it, just the purple light.
Okay.
And she says, "This time, there won't be any tricks to stop it from happening." And she gestures again at the shattered, stolen moment laying next to the corpses.
Do I still, if I can look, do I still have the shard in my hand?
Well, so you look at your hand, and the scar is not there.
Mm. I'm going to break away, regardless of the consequences, and charge towards the portal.
She does make an attack with a dagger. Gets a 24.
Oh yeah, that hits.
And it only does, well, it does 6 piercing damage.
Oh.
I'm assuming you're still up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
Yes, I got 35.
despite this the piercing of the dagger at your back, you make your way to the portal. You reach out your hand. What
Well,
are you doing
I'm pretty sure
as you
that's
run to
not
the portal?
happening.
As you run to the portal, what is it that you're trying to do? As
I'm
opposed to
essentially
just
going
running your
to
face into it.
dive into it
Okay.
because she's not the real enemy, he is, and I'm gonna bring the fight to him.
You take a running leap and you dive into the portal. Nira, you've closed your eyes. You feel this coarse wire tearing your flesh wrapped around you, but you sink into your meditative trance. You say the prayer, and you feel just a little bit of a twitch on your hand, like where a ring would be.
Okay.
But now if you
right.
want to take an action, so that was your action to do that. So it is actually going to still try to, it's wrapping these things tighter around you. That's going to be just a 14. Which I don't think works. Whoa, and yeah, and then 1. You find that somehow these slashes are not finding purchase, even as you're grappled.
Okay. Well, I am going to remember that I have my magic ring of truthiness.
Yeah.
And I'm going to.
Well, you're going to try to break the grapple because you have your
Oh yeah.
hands kind
I
of
have to
pinned
do-
at your.
Yeah. Okay. Keep switching away from this. There we go. And that is, I guess I did acrobatics last time, right?
Yeah. Well, you can do whichever you prefer.
Let's see, with the plus, it's the 20.
All right. You break the grapple. You are going to take another 6 slashing damage. And as you pull away from it, you hold up your hand and you don't see the ring, but you do feel it on your finger.
Okay, well, I'm going to believe that it is there, and I think it's that I have to take it off to. Is it that I look through it?
Look through it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what I'm going to attempt to do, even though I can't see this ring. I'll hold it up and look at.
And as soon as you do, Rushama appears as this tentacled form of the spirit of Lake Elamon. And it just says, very clever.
Rushama didn't choose no fool.
Otterkey, as you have jumped into the portal, you find yourself suspended in some sort of a strange, thick substance, and you look around, and you're back in the jellyfish, and your friends are right next to you, suspended in this substance, and Amethyst and Alaric seem to be unconscious, but Nira blinks her eyes open too, and you kind of make eye contact.
That was super weird. Okay, I need. Can I cast heal them and bring them around? I feel like. Do I have time to use Prayer of Healing? Because that's one of those that I have to like.
Well, yeah,
it's like a ritual. Isn't it?
Well, I think it takes 10 minutes
like 10
to cast,
minutes,
if I recall.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can do that if you want.
Yeah.
I would immediately try to touch each of them to lay on hands.
You find that you're not able to really. You, as much as you might try to sort of swim through this stuff, you just find that you don't get anywhere.
So here's my question though, because the component is vocal.
Mm-hmm.
Does it work? Here?
I will allow that it does. That it's hard to understand to try to talk underwater through this jellyfish jelly, whatever it is. But I'll say that you can say the words sufficiently well to cast the spell.
Right, so that is 15 hit points all around.
All right.
So how does that work out for me then? Am I... Because I was down some, but I wasn't taking it off of the giant size.
Well, technically what I'll say is that Otterkey and Nira, you found when you woke up that you were not injured.
Cool.
However, Alaric and Amethyst were unconscious and now are at 15.
Boom, you're welcome.
You guys wake up and you don't feel good. You even though you're definitely aware again now, you feel just kind of just gross in a hard to define way.
Stabbing wildly around me. Where the hell am I now? This doesn't look like the halls of Valhalla or whatever the thing they kept promising me.
Yeah. You guys can't really hear each other. You can kind of see each other, but yeah.
So Amethyst waves to Nira and big thanks, thumbs up, thanks sis.
Here for you.
Does this stuff cut around me?
Well, it's it's like being suspended in slime. You can move your hands and stuff through it, but when you try to swim, you just sort of don't get anywhere. you don't feel like there's nothing solid about it.
Just thrashing about, kind of annoyed.
Question for the DM.
Yeah?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you're gone.
Weird.
Your image is gone.
Yeah, it's not. It froze, and then now I can't.
It's a super cute picture of you, so don't feel bad.
The thing's like 8 years old too.
Nailed it. Looking good, girl.
I have
So
to
I was
drop out
gonna...
for a second and come back. So
Okay,
Okay.
if I disappear,
sure. You had a question?
Can I use the staff of Lanamara down here? Can I summon her without like earth to put the staff in?
You don't think you can... well... Yeah, you don't think that you can't summon the tree here. It needs earth to grow the tree in.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
So you guys realize, though, as you're sort of still in this thing, that you do see another light in the distance, still below you, faint because it's through murky, dark water. But
and jellyfish.
Yeah, but you recognize
Jellyfish filter.
you recognize the purplish color, but it seems to flicker in a strange way as you move closer, and then eventually you realize this jellyfish has settled onto the bottom, and you guys find yourself pushed out and emerging into open water again, but now surrounded by strange humanoid fish people.
I don't ever want to travel that way again.
Can we breathe?
Well, you still have the water breathing spell.
Yeah, I didn't know how long it it had been.
You guys don't know either.
Yeah. Everybody okay with breathing?
The
Everybody's
original
breathing,
one is
right?
still active, but you are not sure how long it's been.
Okay, everybody's breathing, right? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
More or less.
Nira is still giant.
Well, that's problematic.
Okay, so that goes till about midnight-ish, I think, is what Christiana said. So,
24
Thank you,
hours
son.
from when you originally did it, which was shortly before midnight. Yeah.
right. So if that's any way to gauge the water breathing spell, because I don't remember how long it lasts.
24 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're good.
Yeah. So,
Sweet.
yeah, by that logic,
Real-
yeah, you
I
definitely
can't
have
confirm.
some time still on the water breathing spell. But you
And
guys,
a little warning. When you shrink up, we'll know that I need to cast water breathing again soon.
yeah, you
Sometimes
guys,
drinking water is something you have control over.
you guys are surrounded by a couple of dozen of these strange humanoid, sort of fishy creatures. Many of them pointing various tridents and spears, and some of them have nets. And as this enormous jellyfish begins to float up again behind you, you see that even more of these fish creatures move in to take its place, and they are surrounding you in a three-dimensional sense.
I got to make sure I give the proper finger to that stupid jellyfish. I'm never traveling that way again.
Aw, we were safe in there.
Safe?
Nothing attacked-
Does this
nothing
hole look
attacked
safe
us.
to you? I'm assuming I
No.
actually have the wounds that I think I have.
Hello, people of
Yeah,
the deep.
do we have any wounds?
Hi.
You feel weak, but you don't have any like bruises or cuts or anything like that.
It went right through here. It should be a hole.
The fish people make various bloop, 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 bloop noises at you.
Oh no. Okay.
Take us to your leader.
Oh my lord.
One of them looks like an older, sort of hardened fighter one, where with a seaweed sort of eye patch made, and big, enormous, chompy teeth. Takes a spear and points it in a direction, and they kind of make a path there. And you realize under the water there is essentially a replica of the same temple that you saw up on the shore.
Of
course.
Oh, hey, how's Andrew?
She's not with you.
What the hell?
Oh
Hey,
no,
come
we
back down
lost
here,
our
you stupid
halfling.
blobby thing.
what?
Give us our halfling. Is it in there? Is she in there?
Did she jump? We all jumped.
She jumped in with us, though, right?
Yeah.
I thought she did. Anybody, did we see her in the jellyfish? Like when we woke up?
Nope.
I don't remember seeing her.
Hey. All right.
I only remember
You
vultures.
worked out that little crazy mad barbarian. So
Well, I think there's only one direction we can go here. So,
whichever way the pointy things point, I guess.
to the temple
Yeah. So
again.
you lost sight of the
Go to the
purple
temple
light
and
when you descended closer to the bottom, so you don't actually see it now.
Do we have any
It
sense
is
of what
roughly in
direction
the
it's in?
direction. Yeah,
You
the
do
temple.
feel like it is in the direction of the temple.
All right.
And in fact, actually, once you're kind of looking at the temple, you realize there is a little bit of a glow coming from where the skylight, essentially, of this temple would be.
Sounds like a
Do
place to
any
go.
of you speak common tongue? Yes?
It's gonna be annoying.
I don't know.
Let's just go.
They're humanoid, right,
words for
Christiana?
yes.
Yes.
They're small and short and green, and I carry pointy things.
And not animals, so I can't talk to them.
All right.
Oh, that one over there looks kind of bitey. Why she keep gnashing her teeth? That's kind of creepy.
She does look kind of bitey, yeah.
I'm just gonna start walking to the temple.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So they definitely stay surrounding you, but allow you to move in that direction. Their positioning suggests they want you to go in what would be like the front main entrance of this place.
Okay. One of them had an eye patch. Does that one look like? And it looked like it was kind of leading us. Are we walking into a trap again? Because I really didn't like the last temple we were in. If
Are
see
we
a
ever
hole-
not walking into a
Much
trap?
of a choice.
The danger
I mean,
is
we're
real.
surrounded in 3 dimensions, and I mean, what's our?
There's no
I'm
other
happy
choice
to hear
here.
any other choice. I can't. I literally can't think of anything else to do.
All right.
It's the purple fisher, and that's like all I care about.
I mean,
But
you
if there's a
knock
smarter
the person,
way, I'm-
knock some heads. Kind of want to get a little revenge. Although I'm feeling kind of pained in the gut. Maybe you got stabbed.
Dude, I don't even want to talk about it. So I have a question, a mechanics question, DM. So I have the spell polymorph,
Yep.
and what I'm wondering is if I can transform myself into this other form, but it's not an animal, so I can't, right?
Polymorph. Well, first of all, I think the polymorph spell can only do animals anyway.
Be any beast who's challenged. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But just as on the mechanics question, though, if it were an animal, would I, just so I know for the future, if I transform into it, if it was like the jellyfish and I transformed into a jellyfish, would I be able to communicate and talk with it? Because that's the way the card reads.
So
Mental ability
basically,
scores.
what would see? Whereas when you use your wild shape, you retain your own mind.
Mm-hmm.
If you turned yourself into a jellyfish, you'd have the brain of a jellyfish, which would mean that you theoretically might speak jellyfish, but you would only have the mental capacity of a jellyfish.
And I
until
wouldn't
you
have
turn
any. I wouldn't have any memory after I turn back.
The general kind of rule of thumb is that like things like recognizing friends, general sort of emotional state can carry over, but certainly not complex plans or thoughts. Unless,
Hey,
of course, you're turning into something that would be capable of that.
You
But
could
if
be
I-
our ride back up top.
Honey, I'm already your ride back up top. I got me and I got a whole platoon of cars for it.
Yeah.
They're called reef sharks. I've already looked them up.
Yeah. So it retains its alignment and personality, but for example, you would have like an intelligence of 2 or whatever, depending on.
So would I
what it was.
remember though when I go back into my form?
Well, see, the thing is that if you were going to do that, why wouldn't you just go ahead and wild shape instead of polymorph? Polymorph
Yeah.
is really like the.
Super limiting.
Well, it would be one thing if you didn't have wild shape. You might choose that as, the best option.
Right.
But, since you do, that would be a superior one.
Right on. Okay.
You do sense that you could turn into a jellyfish like that. It wouldn't be as big as the one you were riding in, which seemed like it was probably like 60 feet across. But you could be a smaller one. Excuse me. If
Okay.
you felt like you wanted to do that. All right, so you're making your way towards this temple entrance.
Yeah, we're walking.
All right. So you find your way inside. You're following the bitey one in that pathway, and you realize that the layout is the same as the one that you had been in before. So there's this sort of front little room that splits, and there's a door on either side, and the one kind of holds up its spear to stop you, looks meaningfully at you, and then drops its spear and lets it clatter to the bottom, and then looks meaningfully at all of you.
Oh no, I don't want to disarm. I'm huge. I like my weapon.
You are barely
Freak
fitting
right
through
now.
these doorways anyway. You're kind of squeezing through them.
Yeah, I shuck my weapons.
Fine.
Yeah.
I don't have a weapon.
Well, your staff. Right?
Bitch. That's my walking stick. I just start leaning on it all heavy, like, oh.
You're floating, man.
Yeah,
Shut up.
the fish thing kind of pushes off with its feet and floats and just like.
And I lean on it even more. Oh.
You find as you try to lean on it, it just makes you float up.
But it's my.
Fine. Okay. So does it? I guess that includes shields. Yeah, all right. We can't fight off all of them, so
Yeah, they don't look nearly as bad as my old man.
Can't we? No, I'm kidding.
no, we can't.
You take the 100 on the
All right.
left. I'll take the 1 or 2 over there.
Boom. Sinks to the bottom.
So,
Fine.
It's better be worth it. It's better be parley.
as you make your way, you've left your weapons behind in this front room. You make your way through what was the changing room in the surface one, where people could change into the different robes, but you don't see anything like that in this room. It's the same shape, but otherwise doesn't have anything in it.
Does it look like it was built at the same time? Like, does it look worn or just an identical thing?
I would say for anyone but a dwarf with your stone cunning, you would have no way to know. You think that this one looks much older.
Okay.
Now, it's underwater, which could have some aging effects, but it looks older, definitely.
The original. And looking at the stone, there's no difference in the way it's carved or placed together? Like it doesn't have
If anything,
additional
you would
features?
guess that the one on the surface was sort of, by whatever direction or instruction, was built to be a replica of sorts of this one.
But these little guys aren't so bad if they can build something like this to last that long.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys follow essentially the same route that you did when going into that main sort of temple chamber. in
I'm
the
wary.
Surface level one.
In
You're
case
making your
anybody's
way
jumping out
through.
and saying, "Ooh."
You're in this narrow hallway now, and especially, I would imagine Nira's kind of pulling up taking the rear, crawling on hands and knees through a tight
Plugging the
corridor.
hole.
You're following the bitey one, and if you were able to turn around and look, Nira, you might suspect that there might be people, it might be more of these things following behind you, but you can't really get a line of sight to see.
On the plus side, nobody's going to be sneaking in around you.
It's true.
Like take a few
Sneak
shots.
attack to the butt, yeah. So, as you emerge into this chamber, you find, first of all, there are two basic differences between this chamber and the one in the surface level, other than being completely submerged. One is that it doesn't have the well in the bottom, the way the other one did. And the other is that there is a glowing fissure surrounded by a steel cage.
Nira, smash! No, I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that.
Is that it? Is that the thing?
That's the thing.
That's the thing. How far away is it?
It is like 30 feet above you. It's kind of in the center of this sort of big high-ceilinged room, but hanging from chains, there's a steel barred cage encompassing it.
Gotcha.
And you hear a voice and say, "You have come."
We have.
Was that a surprise?
No. However, nothing else has changed. You will not be permitted to close the fissure. You're just hearing the voice kind of transmitted through the water. You're not seeing anything.
Do you really want to destroy the world?
You don't know what you're talking about.
Not really, no, but these folks do. And those fissures are destroying the world.
They know less than nothing about these fissures.
Well, what do you know then?
Much.
Well, I can say that.
These fissures are not cracks in a vase that can be sealed and painted over. They are the crumbling of the universe, and the breakage is accelerating.
Then why would you try to stop us from trying to fix things, or at least slow it?
Your methods create further instability, and they grant additional power to the artifact, which must not be recharged.
Do you have a different solution?
What artifact?
The destruction of the world is inevitable. I intend to preserve what I can for as long as I can. And that requires my kuotoa.
Your what?
My subjects. They guided you here.
Oh, fish people.
We don't want to harm your subjects. We just want to close the rift.
The rift leads to their home. It
Then
must
why are they
remain
here?
open that they can escape here from the dangers they face there.
Doesn't sound like much of a home.
Yeah, how long has it been open? Can't you just... we help get them through?
Aren't they here?
Some, there are more.
So you're trying to save them from something.
Yes. And through them, to preserve this world as long as it can be preserved.
Okay, I get the idea of saving people, but how are these folks supposed to save the rest of the world?
The Kuo-Toa are unique in the multiverse in their ability, though they are mortal creatures, to generate spiritual energy.
I look over to Nirkina. What the hell did it just say?
They imagine things and believe in them and make them real?
And you hear just a little bit of a... That is close enough. It is enough for you to understand that their energy will allow me to grow to have enough power that I might stabilize this portion of the planar universe for a time.
Well, maybe we can help bring them here. Get the rest here.
I mean, what kind of...
I am aware of the marks you bear. I am aware of the abilities that they grant you to absorb the energy from the fissures. As you perceive it, they close, but only open elsewhere.
Wait, what? That's not what you told me.
That doesn't seem right.
Didn't know that part. But we're trying to protect the material plane.
You know only what the wizardess has told you.
What, who?
Ugh, Melicanth. Again. I already have issues with her.
Oh, wait a minute.
So here, but the people living on the banks, the Kotoa seem fine. They seem perfectly natural, being in your service. But the people that live on the banks, it's unsettling and doesn't seem properly balanced.
They're all screwed up, I think is what she's trying to say.
The
Like, really
changes
screwed
that will be required for their survival are unsettling to those who fear change.
No, they're unsettling to a lot more people than that.
How much
It's
larger?
unsettling when they literally try to sacrifice you. I will admit, I was very unsettled when I was almost killed in a sacrifice form. So if you want to use the word unsettled, then that's okay. But luring people down there to their deaths, that's not cool. It's more than just your little minion, Callista. I mean, we were just there to try and get information, and she basically just was going to slit our throats. So that is problematic on a world scale.
She sought gifts and knowledge in her own way.
And that's fine to just slaughter people?
It is a pittance compared to a world.
I mean, I don't consider my
I
life
believe
to be
I think how much larger do you intend to get? How much more land do you intend to take over?
And how many more people are going to be slaughtered in your name?
What I take will be preserved. What remains will be destroyed. Not through my actions, but through the lack of my protection.
That's a pretty bold claim, that you're the only solution to all the problems in the world.
Rushama seems to have a different feeling about it.
Rushama is a hollow, crumbling ruin.
Ooh, lips fighting words. I'm going to step back to make sure I'm not anywhere near between anything, and Nira
The ends of my hair started to crackle a little bit.
might just start destroying the building if I'm not careful. Or, yeah.
I do not deny Rushama's former glory. But you speak only to the part that resides within you, not to the present existence of the mountain.
I've seen the mountain. It is no ruin.
You have seen the outside of a shell.
No, you're kind of arrogant and self-centered. You remind me a lot of my dad, which is not surprising given events. You only think about the stuff that's important to you. What about the rest of the world? Oh, to hell with the rest of the world. It's just going to burn in a cataclysm. And you think you got all the right answers, but you just piss in your own pot once more.
The end of the world was not my doing. That came about when Melicanth meddled in the affairs of the Fey lords and ladies, and of the demon lords, and sought to prevent what she feared, and in so doing has brought ruin upon everything. And no matter how her intentions may guide her to attempt repair now, the Fey lords and ladies will take their prize back, and it must not be charged when that happens.
Prize. What? The thing?
The stolen moment.
That moment was bringing a demon into this world. How can that possibly benefit this plane?
It would not. But do you stab yourself through the heart to prevent a hangnail?
He has a valid point. Demons can be killed.
Well, I mean, I wasn't there when this whole thing happened, so I'm not exactly sure if I could verify. I'm assuming the rest of you have some clue what the hell this thing is talking about.
The point is moot. The damage has been done. It is nothing left but for us to hold on as long as we can.
See,
and
that's
my aim is to do that.
You know, again, sounding just like my dad. I can't fix everything else, so I'm going to desperately grab onto the few things I've got. And you know what happens? Nothing good. Look, maybe we aren't going to deal with this particular pink portal right now. Maybe you won for the day. Fine. Maybe you think you're actually going to save your part of the world. Fine. But you think I'm going to give up? Hell no. Maybe we don't deal with this one today. Maybe we leave you to your own little kingdom and see just how bad it gets before you beg us to come back and help you. Maybe you are successful. I don't even care anymore. All I know is it's not ending today. It's not really up to me, I suppose. You're the ones with the special powers as far as this is concerned, but...
Elamond, if we agree to go in peace today, will you allow it?
What would be your objective once you return to the surface?
I need more information.
Mm-hmm. We need to learn how to help. I mean,
There is no...
how do you suggest? There's nothing we can do at all. We just stand aside. We just let everything happen.
If there's no point, then why did you let the Koatoa become refugees here? Why didn't you just leave them to whatever horrible thing is going on there? And if you let them try to improve their situation, why won't you let us improve ours here?
Their lives and yours are fleeting moments in the scale on which I exist. Their energy and their power allows me to hold this world together for a time. If you like, take comfort in the knowledge that it will not be destroyed before you die of other causes.
You have a real bad bedside manner.
Not really a comfort.
I have no other comfort to offer you.
No, that's pretty sure.
Where's our friend?
Yeah. What'd you do with Andrea?
She was with us and now she's not. What happened to her? You know everything, so what happened to her?
She chose to return.
She what?
She has returned to the surface.
So whatever
It's a
you did,
relief.
you've been tortured enough to leave?
Well, the temptations were strong.
I didn't see any temptations. All I saw is just a puppet master.
You disparage Rashama, you disparage the other spirits. Can't you band together? Can't you do something together?
We're here to help.
It is Rashama's pride and arrogance that allowed this ruinous course of events to come about.
Wait, now it's Rashama's problem? Her fault? I thought it was Melicanth.
Nira's gonna turn and leave. She's walking out. She's leaving. She's gone.
All right. You are crawling again through the tight little corridor.
yeah.
But going
Back
back
the way we came.
All right.
Not quite
Yeah.
as dignified as you'd hoped.
I mean, you guys can stick around and ask questions, but
Outward.
You encounter a couple of fish people who are sort of seem startled, but they realize that like they can't move enough to get out of your way, so they kind of slowly back up to kind of allow you to make your way out. They are, as you make your way out to the front, they kind of are still sort of all clustered around there, just watching you.
well, I'm going to pick up my weapons, not threateningly, but like put them away.
Okay. So, do the rest of you have a response to her leaving?
I'm not entirely surprised. All the gods and stuff, and you spirits, whatever.
So Amethyst leans over to the two that are remaining and says, do we still want to close this thing or are we just leaving? What are we doing?
I can't
I mean-
close it on my own.
But what do you, do you feel like we should still close
more
it?
Information.
Nira's outside pacing.
Of course she is.
So what?
Alright.
Even if it was Rashama's fault, even if Rashama set this sequence of events in motion, you can still come together.
Help other people like the Coatoads.
There's other spirits.
Yeah, there are.
It is not our nature for the peak and the lake to work together.
Mm-hmm.
Not even to
So
For
you're
save.
dire times to
You're gonna
save the world.
You're going to let your own
All of the
arrogance
elements
get
should
in the
come
way?
together.
I mean, you're talking
Wind,
all
fire.
about arrogance and not making a problem. It seems like your own arrogance is getting in your own way now.
I am ancient beyond your conception. My understanding of the world exceeds your own by many magnitudes.
Your arrogance also exceeds mine by a couple. Not a lot, though. I get some bad news.
So I just
You do not
kind of,
know what you ask.
I know what you're not trying to do. And that's try.
I am trying. By bringing the Kuatoa here, rescuing them from the evils that penetrate and persecute them in their home plane, I increase my power in this one, allowing me to grant some level of protection here for as long as I can. That is my trying. Your efforts amount to nothing.
If our efforts amounted nothing, you wouldn't be afraid of us closing that portal over there.
Afraid? I could turn the water to poison in your lungs.
Yeah, that sounds like fear to me. Only somebody who's scared does that kind of stuff.
You find that all of a sudden you're kind of... you feel... You've been breathing the water and suddenly it feels like toxic slime and it's burning your throat.
Damn it. Amethyst, that smell right out.
I would like to cast
Wait,
a spell.
poison?
I'm breathing fine. I think. Am I breathing fine?
Yeah, the other two of you are fine for the moment. You want to cast a spell, Otterkey?
Yeah, I don't know if I need to roll initiative to do it so, or if I just try it.
Well,
and see what
what is it?
Misty Step.
Okay. Where are you misty stepping to?
Into the center of that fucking portal thing behind the cage.
It's kind of waiting for that.
All right.
Instantaneous poof.
Yeah. Oh gosh. you're gonna
It's
have
the
to
giant
think about
potion
that.
all over again.
Yeah. Well, no. So bear in mind, Here's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
You find yourself starting to misty step, and you find yourself appearing not where you expected, but rather just to the side of the cage, and you hear the voice say, "You act as though I cannot see your thoughts before you act. Know that had you been successful, I simply would have drowned you."
Maybe. Maybe you would have been
You suddenly are able to breathe fine again. All right.
God, that's worse than the bog around that damn town. All right, you proved your point. You got a lot of power here. You're scared as hell. I get it. I see this happening all the time. Rulers are always afraid of losing their rule. And they hate being threatened. I get it. But what do you expect us to do?
The one way that you might make a meaningful contribution. There are Kuatoa who are imprisoned on the other side. If you were to pass through and rescue more of them, I would grant you a boon. Though, as we make this pact, you should know, if you make any attempt to close this fissure, as you just did a moment ago, you will die.
So you're giving us a job to do, and you're not going to give us what we want.
What do you mean by a boon?
You want us to go get more people to serve you for nothing.
I said that I would grant you a boon.
Is it closing the fissure?
No. But
I can't imagine what else you would have to offer that I would be interested in. But I just speak for myself.
perhaps your memories. It has been my.
It's
it is
recently
within my
been
power.
brought to my attention that I might not want those memories back.
As you wish, you are also free to return to the surface, as your halfling friend did.
Yeah. She better be okay, or we'll have more words. I don't know how I'm going to manage it. I'm only one dwarf. But I remember things.
So I just flip off Elamon and I go after Nira. I'm done. Deuces, or whatever that is. Singles.
That's not very druid-like.
I haven't felt like a druid since how long have we been? Heroes of Legend.
You give them the twigs, all 4 of them.
Give him the twigs.
Bite my thumb at you, sir.
I'll just say, this is madness, and turn around and head back towards my companions. I must
Still never answered my question. What kind of boon are you offering for this?
What would you ask?
Oh, I don't know. You have a lot of power. That could be very useful in things I got to get done after I leave here.
Indeed.
If
I
you
could
can
grant
spend
you.
the power that far.
Yes, I can. You could become my cleric. My servant.
You have a really weird idea about how, paying happens. I understand. Maybe in your almighty realm of poofiness and water, you really don't have to pay anybody. They just follow all the orders you give them.
Do you wish
But
gold?
I don't need gold, but power. Power is something I can use.
And I can grant it.
Becoming your servant is not of an interest. That's not my benefit, that's yours. But you could shave
You
off a
would
little
have-
power you have.
You would have my power as my cleric.
Too
Don't
many
do it.
strings.
Don't
Too
do it.
many strings. Until you learn to bargain properly, I'm afraid that we're at an impasse. I better catch up to them. They run a lot faster than I do.
All right.
Good luck. And again, when you go crumbling all down, give us a call. We'll probably be able to help. If we want to. When I turn to leave.
All right. So you all make your way out, and as you emerge together, you're able to recover your weapons in the where you left them, and as you emerge, the fish people are still present, watching, but they no longer seem to be, making any sort of a corralling or guiding motions. They're kind of just watching you to see what you're going to do.
Well, the only way to go is up now, right? Can we catch the next jellyfish out?
Oh, hell no. Hell no. I'll
Sorry,
figure out a way to swim.
Sorry, I spotted a spider here. I'm trying to make a
Uh-oh.
Shelob
Kill it with
somewhere.
fire!
I can't find it. But it touched me. So I'm gonna summon. I can summon reef sharks for us to swim pretty quickly.
Will
Is that safe?
will that do anything for me? Cause giant size elf.
No, I don't think I got nothing that big.
Hold on to
That'd
them.
be a little
Can you grab
slow,
like 2 of them?
Well,
See
you
what
can
the
you
biggest
can
thing
also
is.
just
Strap one to
actually
each leg.
swim. I mean, you can you're not wouldn't be
Killer
fast.
whale?
But, I mean, you
So
can.
Would
if
a
I
killer
cast-
whale be big enough? Oh no, I can't summon that yet.
If I cast water walk, how fast did that shoot me to the surface? 'Cause
I
it-
think it's something like 60 feet per round or something like that. It actually says in the spell.
Can we hold on to her?
Well,
can cast water walk on
cast it on
everybody.
all of you.
That's true. Oh yeah, duh. It would be so funny if we held on to your cloak or something.
Ah!
Sorry, I got that image in space on the other part. Where's that spider?
man.
But so as you guys are kind of having this conversation, you all feel a little bit of a strange swirling in the current, where it just
crap.
suddenly there's a just a very faint sort of cool current kind of swirls around all 4 of you, and then you all hear just a little bit of a whisper in your ear of so I think you guys have a problem with Velemon being all powerful. How about we do something about that?
Who the hell are you?
Yeah.
And I think that's where we'll stop for tonight.
Sweet. Sweet.
Oh, I didn't get to say my dramatic line. I have a thing.
Aw. Well, I wanted to stop you before you cast
I get
water
killed by my
walking.
dad, so I'm going to cry all the way for you.
Well, because I wasn't sure how discussion works underwater. I mean, I didn't think we could really understand each other,
Well,
so
I
was hanging on to what I had to say.
I'm kind of.
I don't trust shady voices from the shadows anymore, though.
All right. Well,
I want to hide in
we'll
the shadow and
see.
whisper at you now.
So yeah, all right. I wasn't sure how that was going to go, cutting in between the different scenes, but seemed like it worked okay.
That was neat. That was really cool.
Oh,
I need-
boy.
I may need a therapist after some of the mother and father interactions. to
Oh,
be
you
honest
thought
with you.
that coming down to the bottom of this ancient lake to fight the tentacle spirit was going to be all puppies and rainbows?
Of course.
Really? Why would we want to fight
Fuck in the
puppies and
pond.
rainbows? That seems really mean. That may be preferable.
All right.
You're
So,
slightly panicked right now, so nothing clearly.
Slightly.
All right.
It's one of those things where right now there's that sort of thing going in, sort of that little explosion in the back of all the characters' heads. I
Yeah.
was like, how much of that was true? And shit, even if part of that is true, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey,
Well, hard to say. You don't know what he knows. What's, if you guys had asked to roll an insight roll, I would say, the millennia old lake spirit that you can't actually see, you don't know.
Is it immune to zone of truth? Just,
I mean,
sounds convincing. Sure.
Yeah. So we'll maybe find out next time. Well, you guys will have to decide like what's this mysterious little whisper? What are these fish people doing? What's the plan?
She uses that P word as if we know what that means.
we know how well our plans work. So.
Perhaps instead of plan, we can just say, what random flailing will you manage to
Right.
do?
Kermit flannel.
With finesse. Come on.
Ooh, we stick the landing, so
Yeah, right.
But here's the extra nice little thing for surviving, making your way through this encounter with Elamon and dealing with these strange visions you had. Level up.
Yay!
Oh,
Ooh, cool.
I'm gonna get
What
myself
do we
in so
get?
much
What
more
do we
trouble
get?
now.
I know. It's like, let's go shopping.
Right?
Oh,
And,
cool.
Thank you to those in the chat. We definitely had Paulette in there, and I saw Prince Justin earlier, and we have Orcs Make Beautiful Lovers just dropped in to say, just a reminder, orcs need love too.
Oh, wow. That's not random. Oh, I love it. I guess this was the chooch with Paulette's comment. Mom attacks with a hanky and spit. She wipes the floor with you. Mother.
the chat still isn't
Big time.
working for me again this week.
Oh, no.
So
Aw.
like, I don't know. Like I refreshed it like multiple
Huh.
times. I tried popping out the chat. No, nothing works.
Oh,
Aw.
wow. Oh well.
So,
So we'll
sorry.
see if we can't. Hopefully it'll work for you next week, or we can figure out what's going on. Try a different browser or something. I don't know. But anyway, so I think we're going to sign off for now. So thank you everybody for watching, and we'll be back next time for more adventure on so many levels.
Many levels.